Right, welcome back to Musicians Chatting Music podcast. I've got a new mic here. Hopefully, it sounds really nice for everyone listening. And today, I've got another special guest, and that is this. I'm laughing about this before. This is Goldie from Goldies. There we go. So just to start off, nice and strong here. For those that might not be aware of Goldies, would you like to just kind of just introduce that a little bit and talk about like what Goldies is and stuff like that?
Yeah, Goldies. It's pretty much a vinyl shop in Shields. But what we've done is we've got a coffee shop in it, so it's a coffee and vinyl shop. Basically, it's a music hub. Any sort of music paraphernalia, we'll call it. We sell. But plenty of stuff by local artists in there, as well as obviously your famous 12-inch vinyls. But it's all retro stuff. There's no new remastered stuff in. If there is, it's just coming by pure chance. But it's just a general hangout, really. To be honest with you, it's got a good vibe to it. Well, it did have until 3 months ago when things went crazy. It's starting to pick up now, so it's all good.
Awesome. We should have probably added, it's in South Shields, by the way, for anyone that doesn't know. just in case. You can't miss it. It's right next to that big, what is it, the town hall, or whatever it is.
Directly opposite the town hall, yeah.
Exactly. Awesome. Yeah, I can say, I've been in the past, and I can say for anyone that might be interested in going or checking it out, it is a very nice, relaxed vibe, and it's a great little place to go, so I definitely recommend it. So leading on from there, anyways, what made you take the leap to launch the shop in the first place? What was the influence and kind of all of that type of stuff?
It was a good couple of years ago. I was working in a factory, and I had a couple of days on the sick. I'd split my hand open, and my wife Maxine, she had a holiday on the Friday, so we ended up going to the Metro Centre. We just sat and had a dinner, and I was a bit pissed off with the whole work situation. So we were just chatting, and we had said, I want my own business, and it just kind of escalated from that. Start off with what can you do, and then what would you like to do, and then it just started with a few ideas, wrote on the back of a napkin, to actually come home and really looking into it.
Yeah.
And it was kind of lucky as well, because my mate, who's got the cash lounge next door to us, he was pretty much in the same sort of position. He's been working for breweries, and he was sick of getting ripped off by them, and he wanted to do something on his own. So luckily we found the building that we're in now, and we split it down the middle. So it was just, but to go back to the initial question, so yeah, it was just sick of working for other people and being told what to do, and obviously this that I'm doing now, I don't do what I want myself, but you know what I mean. It's a bit easy working for yourself. It's great.
Yeah, definitely better than a factory anyway.
Damn right.
Well, it's a lot more relaxing in that way, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Awesome. So it was kind of awesome. Yeah, sounds good. I was gonna ask the question next, what inspired it, but I feel like we've kind of just tied that into the last question a little bit.
It's obviously something I wanted to do, and I'm interested in music. I mean, I play bass in a band, and I have been for years. So it was just we elaborated on that. We used that as a starting idea, which is music I was interested in. What can we do? Well, we can sell vinyl, and then the coffee shop was just a later. It was a later idea.
Right. Okay, right. So it started as the vinyl idea.
Yeah.
Cool. So that's awesome. I love it. This is more of a question that I just kind of came up with because I'm generally curious. I think I know the answer to the question, but I'm just gonna ask it anyways. I'm assuming because what you do now, I would say, is connected to or related to the music industry, because obviously it's to do with music. But I'm assuming before that like you may not have been. Were you working in music before that at all, ever?
No, never worked in a coffee shop in my life. I've never had my own business before.
Yeah.
And all the work I've done before was either in factories or call centers or the building industry.
Yeah.
But I've never worked in a shop before. I've never worked in a coffee shop. I've never worked in a record shop. So it was all was all brand new, hit the ground running sort of thing.
Yeah. I can imagine that being like that's just like a massive like lifestyle change and everything as well, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
It's strange, isn't it? Because like the things that you like plan for your future at one point in your life, and then literally like it's one of those things where you never know like 10 years later where you're actually going to be, and that's proof of that again, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? It's like
Well,
literally you could be anywhere.
Ironically, a year before the idea of this, the opening this shop up, both my wife loves Costa, so we'd go into Costa and she'd be like, what sort of coffee do you want? Just want a coffee, a white coffee. Well, what sort of white coffee? I don't want the Ponzi coffee. I just like normal coffee. But fast forward on to now, I'm serving Ponzi coffees, so
it's funny, isn't it? Yeah.
It's a complete change of direction for me.
So you were never like, so you were never as passionate about coffee as like the vinyl, etc.
No, definitely not. Definitely not.
So would you say that's like, is that something that interests you now because of the shop, or like just something that came along later, or like what you know what I mean?
Nah, I mean obviously I've got a vested interest in it, should we say?
Yeah.
But now it's just something that's just come along since we opened the shop up.
Awesome.
But it's also it's a good little meeting place for, if you want to go for a coffee, because everyone goes for a coffee as opposed to going for a pint. Yeah. So it's and I'm lucky where I am that I have got the capability of getting alcohol for you from the bar next door if you want to come and have a pint.
Yeah.
But like I say, coffees I've got a load of people that come in on a daily basis, and they'll have 2 or 3 coffees, and they'll have friends come in to meet them there, and they'll have a couple of coffees. So it's quite
awesome.
It's quite a social hub.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I love it. It's awesome. Cool. So talking about, let's bring a bit of the music into it as well. You were talking about playing bass and stuff like that. So let's do a little bit of backtracking through that, just for the fun of it. So what bands or band are you in now, and some of the bands that you may have been in the past and stuff like that?
To be fair, I cannot really recall the names of bands that I've been in. Other than, the band I'm in at the minute now it's Souls of Jack Ketch.
Yeah.
I was in them at the start of time when the band first formed, and then I took about 4 or 5 years off just to work and family commitments.
Right.
And then last year, their bass player, due to family commitments, he had to leave. So my best mate Danny Hughes, he's one of the guitarists in the band. So I just had a chat with him, and fast forward a couple of weeks later, I was back down in the practice room with the lads, using all borrowed equipment because I sold all my gear off when I left. So
right.
Bass, and I bought a new bass amp, and it was just great to get back in. It was good fun. But that band came. There used to be a band called Face Shredder out and about, which I can't remember what year it was, but that's where Souls of Jack Ketch came from. Was from the ruins of Face Shredder, when Face Shredder split up. The two guitarists wanted to carry on doing something, and that's they formed what is now Souls of Jack Ketch out of Face Shredder.
Yeah. Awesome. What style of music is that as well, by the way?
It's I think we've been described as death thrash, but it's definitely the music is definitely, it's 100% fast-paced thrash metal, and the vocals are quite heavy, along the lines of the death metal sort of vocals.
Yeah, I can kind of picture that in my head. Yeah. I mean, genres are so kind of fused together these days. Anyway, do you know what I mean? It's like you can have 4 genres in one song.
Yeah, I mean, if you ask me, what sort of stuff you do, for me, it's just thrash with a heavy vocal. But I think it was someone in Scotland had billed her as Souls of Jack Ketch, death thrash, and it was like, it's kind of stuck.
Yeah, it's one of those things where realistically, if you want to keep it nice and simple, it's just metal anyways, isn't it? I guess, really, do you know what I mean? So
100%.
Yeah. It's like rock is rock and metal is metal. But anyways, how long have you played bass, and how long have you been into music, and like kind of what influenced you early on in life as far as bands and music and all that goes as well?
Oh, bloody hell. Well, my earliest my earliest bloody hell. I think it was, I went to Florida. No, I didn't. I went to LA, sorry, and I was 11. And at the
Right.
time, Guns N' Roses had a single out in the charts in England. I
Yeah.
don't know what the single was. And I went to States and I bought Appetite for Destruction on CD. And then it just started from there. But I mean, I used to like Led Zeppelin, a lot of Led Zeppelin. My dad used to be a big Led Zeppelin, but he still is, sorry.
Yeah.
And my mum like Queen. So there's always been that little rock and metal sort of that's always been played in the house.
Yeah.
I suppose from a very early age, I've listened to it, but not really appreciated who it was and where it came from until I got to about 11 or 12 when I started realizing, you know, well, that's where Guns N' Roses, you can hear the influence of Led Zeppelin and, you know, other bands around that era.
Yeah. That's awesome. Yeah. It's funny. Sorry?
I think my mum bought us a guitar when I was about 11, but I never really took it seriously. So I've always had electric guitar in the house since I was about 11. And I think it was maybe about 4 or 5 years after I started playing it.
Right.
I started getting lessons and jamming with other people. And then it's always just been on and off until the last 10, 15 years where it's been more of a permanent
yeah, so it's always just been an element of your life, essentially.
Yeah, for a long time. Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, it's funny you said, actually, because it's kind of almost similar for me, because I started playing guitar when I was 11 or 12, like 11 going on 12, and my dad brought me up on rock and metal my whole entire life, and it wasn't until I was like 11 or 12 right it started to click. But like as far back, like I remember my dad telling us, and I still remember to this day, being a baby, you know, like when the rock a baby to sleep and they sing them like nursery rhymes and all that, whatever. My dad would sing me Black Sabbath. So Black Sabbath has been there since literally day one of my life. And then I remember just listening to all these bands, and then I remember when was it? Maybe year 4 or 5 of school. So I was probably like 9 or 10 years old, and I went to see Whitesnake, and Gary Moore, and a few other bands. And that's like, at the time it was a little bit early, so like 9 or 10 years old. I liked it, but it didn't click yet. And then I turned 11, and then that was kind of like the peak of Kerrang in the early 2000s.
Yeah, Kerrang and Metal Hammer.
Yeah, exactly. And then I started seeing all the new metal stuff, and as soon as I seen the new metal stuff, and Green Day and those types of punk rock bands as well, it was like, right, okay, I'm doing this. But I'm that era. Like, obviously everyone is from a different era. I'm a lot younger than you. I'm from the era of like Linkin Park and like Limp Bizkit and like Slipknot and all those types of bands. So I think the first CD I ever actually properly owned was Slipknot's first album, to be honest.
Probably the first one I ever did as well.
Yeah. And I remember, like, this is a throwback. I remember traveling around in the back of my dad's car with a portable CD player with that album and my headphones on. And I remember that's one of my best memories as a kid, basically. And then I found all the other bands, and then it's funny, I always loved everything. So I loved like the punk rock stuff as much as I loved the heavy stuff, and I still do to this day. So I loved like all of the 2000 stuff I love, but at the same time, like I say, like my dad brought me up on all the classics as well. So it's great. He was one of those proper legit hairies back in the day, basically. With his long ginger curly hair.
For me, I don't really listen to much newer bands ever since about the 2000s. It's that's been. I mean, obviously one of my favorite bands, Soulfly. Every release when they bring new music, I'll buy it and listen to it.
Yeah.
But there's not that many bands out nowadays that have come out since the 2000s that I like. You know what I mean? Obviously, I know you've got like the Linkin Park and all that, but I'm sure they were out about beforehand, weren't they?
Yeah, late 90s type of thing. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's funny because like I say, I'm still young. I'm 25, but I'm starting to notice the same thing where like my daily listens are the same 10 bands now, and it's like and if anything new comes out, I'm like, I don't need that because I've got these 10 bands. I feel like as soon as you hit like a certain age, that just sort of happens. I guess I don't know, but yeah.
Yeah, I think you've hit old age at 25, mate.
Exactly. Anyways, so what's it been like since the launch of Goldies? Has it all been pretty good, or a bit of a slow start, or do you know what I mean?
It started to gather momentum, and it was, to be honest with you, I can't even use a lockdown as an excuse, but to be honest with you, I've pretty much picked back up and we opened back up where we left off.
Right.
I've had to change the shop round a bit because we had that big island in the middle of the shop with all the vinyl. I've had to move that out because there was more and more people coming in at the same time wanting seats.
Yeah.
So, before the lockdown happened, it was in the back of my mind that we need to do something to get more seats in. And lo and behold, this was the ideal opportunity when it's, when we had to close up for, I think I was closed for 9 weeks. The first 3 or 4 weeks, it just started building up slowly but surely. Then last week, it was back to pretty much what it was like, the 3 months or so ago.
Awesome. That's what you want, isn't it?
Yeah. So it's constantly picking up. Yeah, it's getting busier. Every week's a good week.
Good. I'm glad to hear. What's some of your kind of goals for the future of Goldies, if any?
Well, my wife will disagree with this, but I just tend to wing it. It's just let it take its own route. You can make so many plans to do so much stuff, but something always happens. So it's, like there'll be an obstacle. Like we wanted to put seats outside, which we've managed to do, but we've had to jump through so many hoops with the council for getting permission to put them out there. So we're starting to put them out from this weekend, but we've been trying to do this for months, to be honest with you, but because, like you say, there's always something comes up in this coronavirus.
Yeah,
that was a big thing for us, but that knocked us back. Yeah, but it's like you say, it's for me, it kind of just evolves on its own.
Mm-hmm.
You can kind of make plans to do stuff, but it's easier if you just go with the flow, basically.
Yeah, I totally understand that, and I agree as well, to be honest, because I'm a very almost like everyone says they're OCD, but I'm very like organized with everything in my life. Always have been. It's like just my part of my personality, I guess, and I've tried to be very kind of, I need to do this and I need to do that throughout my career of being self-employed, doing music and stuff so far. But literally, like, I realized that the best things that happened throughout my career, I didn't plan. Essentially, like, they would almost come out of nowhere, and I'd be like, oh, well, this is pretty cool. I'm now doing this, and I don't know why, but it's here. Like all of the function band stuff I've done, in all of the schoolwork I've done teaching guitar, that was other people approaching me, and I was kind of just busy doing my own thing, and then it just kind of turned into something else, and like you say, you never know what's going to happen, and like I had loads of plans for this year that I've now had to adjust. I've now had to adjust and reform my career again, essentially, because of the pandemic and everything, and it's again, I'm like in a new different kind of location of my career now as well, and like now I'm trying to look for the future again, but it's almost like, well, I'm in that mode of like just taking it week by week or day by day at the same time now. So, because you never know, like you say. So,
yeah, I mean, I think as far as I go with the shop, the plan is open it up, sell stuff, but then that's the plan. But then there's always loads of other little things happening. Yeah. So for me, it's just easy, just open the doors and go with the flow.
Awesome. Yeah, I totally agree. I get that completely. Cool. That's all of the. That's actually all of the questions I had. So we got through them a lot quicker than I thought. That was like 20 minutes or something. So I'll round it off now. So yeah, that was what I like about doing these is like it's really informative for other people, but as well as me, because it gives me the chance to get to know people more and know more about like certain individuals' careers or businesses or whatever. And like it's kind of, that's my benefit to this. But like obviously I want to do this to help kind of the whole like Northeast in like music and businesses, etc. in general, I guess, really. So it's good
No,
fun.
it's good.
It's nice, good.
I appreciate you asking us to come on this with you, mate.
Definitely.
It's a shame we couldn't do it sooner, but we've got it done today, so that's the main thing.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we get there in the end. So yeah, I'm gonna round this off now, but yeah, I just want to say thank you again. I appreciate you for doing it. I'll definitely 100% be trying to make the effort to pop down to the shop again. I've been saying this for a while now, but like you say, like we've just talked about, every time I'm like, all right, I want to go to the shop again, something else comes up or something else happens, and I'm like, oh, for God's sake, like, and you obviously you know it yourself now, do you know what I mean? So.
Yeah.
Which is funny because when I first came to the shop, I lived in Gateshead. Now I literally live in South Shields, round the corner, and I still haven't had the chance. Like you're literally a 10-minute walk away from where I am right now. So it's frustrating the hell out of us. So I'll definitely make the effort. I'm gonna write it down in my diary so I can't miss it and think, right, the next time I've got a free gap, I'm going.
I need some more flyers and business cards off me for the shop in any case. So
yeah. Yeah, definitely. I'll bring some down. Definitely. Yeah. Awesome. Yeah, I'm gonna actually, as soon as we finish this call, I'm gonna write it down in my diary, and then hopefully on a morning, I'll pop down in the morning. But yeah, because I'm typically teaching on afternoons and stuff. So yeah.
Yeah, come down for a coffee. Come down for a coffee.
Will do, man. Thanks again. I'm gonna end this call now, and I'll get this up online as soon as possible. And hopefully I'll see you or speak to you soon as well, anyways.
Yeah, awesome. Thanks very much, Colin. Take care.
Thanks
Look after yourself, man.
See you later. Bye-bye.
Cheers.